City, but it is hotter than expected. Temperatures in the mid-80s in mid-October.
172 kills, racking up 22 aces to go with it. Murphy has played every single set this season. They find her in transition, they find her in system, a big leader for the Bears.
Yeah, they lost at BYU, and it was in 3, but it was much closer than the score would indicate. In fact, that first set could have gone either way, ended up losing it 26-24, then they lost 25-21, and by the third, they were kind of out of gas at elevation and dropped to 25-13. For Utah, easy night for the scorekeeper. All 3 scores exactly the same, 25-22.
Yeah, it was consistent for the Utes, and they took care of them in 3.
Baylor head coach is Ryan McGuire, 10th season now, winningest coach in Baylor history.
The top 5, first, second, third place amongst kills, digs, assists. They're really making waves in Big 12 volleyball.
It's already been a good week. Could be a great weekend here. They already beat number 17. If they're able to take down number 18, Utah would vault into the top 25. The setter for Baylor is Jackie Barrett-Frazier. She's got some options. And Baylor's going to be very pragmatic. They're a physical team. They want to come right at Utah. They got up to a slow start at BYU. Got to avoid that this afternoon. At the service line, Camry Bailey had 7 kills on 27 attacks the other night. And there's McGee. Elise McGee had 11 kills against BYU on 30 total attacks. Only hit about 200. They want that number up around 240, 250.
And we know that the Bears, they're a physical team, and Coach Beth said, yeah, they're physical, we're physical. We don't want to try and outpower them. We want to outrange them.
Utah runs the 6-2. They'll have 2 different setters on the court. Easy Marco and Grace Hammond splitting time. It's Jardine tooling the block on the right side. Lauren Jardine had a great match against TCU on Thursday night. 8 kills, which is a pretty good number, but it was the timing of her kills. They were all big.
Speak about timing, an out-of-system set lifted. She delays on that second step, and then a quick step close, locates that ball perfectly against the block of the Bears.
Bump set by Claire Ann Fector, the libero for Utah, and it all worked out. Cross-court set. Far side is Allie Check. She's a lefty. So when she's on that side, the ball has to cross her body. Much bigger advantage when she's on the right side. Tie out 3-1.
Jardine again wearing number 7 there. Hometown Highland, Utah.
It's Fector from the service line. Eric Frazier runs out for the set. The setter handled that one in the deep corner. This is the scrappy part of Utah's team that Beth Lanier loves. She says, our team, we keep rallies going, we get to balls. And we've talked about it many times. If you win a point like that, it's a jolt, it's an emotion builder. You win a big point, carries over.
Right, get Badlow out of this, tracking the set behind her and just making it work, playing scrappy.
4-1 Utah again, Fector. Back set to McGee. Tips it off the block and falls at their feet.
McGee was a bit on her way down there with that set. Looked like a quicker tempo set. She was a little bit early maybe, but utilized that block of the Utes.
Elise McGee named preseason All-Big 12. She was an All-Big 12 first-teamer last season as well. Catches the tape, but we play on. Quick set in the middle, Satuala.
Satuala up and available every time for the Utes, especially when they have an in-system pass. You can expect her to be fed the ball on that gap, pulling the middle of Baylor. Great swing.
Into the game and straight to the service line. One of the 2 setters for the Utes, Grace Hammond, the senior from North Carolina. Both setters were excellent for Utah. They split the load. 19 assists for Marco, for Izzy Marco, and 17 assists for Grace Hammond. Baylor gets a couple in a row. They get to this ball.
Lauren Briseño serving.
Yep, they cut the floor as well. Lauren Briseño from San Antonio, the libero for this team, and twice has been named the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week. Goes back over to the Utes. Baylor's got to keep contact early on. They're a higher-ranked team, obviously, at 18, but they're a wounded team right now. And Ryan McGuire, the head coach, said, we can't be zoo bears, we have to be wild bears. They got to come in with some attitude. They've lost 2 in a row. Right into the double block. Satuwala with some help by Voss. Brianna Voss, 12.
Set was a bit inside, and that closed block tracked it very well. Lining up in front of their attackers, taking away space.
10 blocks for Utah in the win against TCU in 3 sets on Thursday night. This carries into the tower. And our unofficial Liz McKnight just ducks underneath it. Dan Swenson on the opposite side, the down.
And Utah fans checking in now. She wears number 17. Let's hear it for
It'll be 4 serving 7. Tahani Ulufatu, sophomore from San Francisco, played at Marin Catholic, a great power in the Bay Area. Played all 4 years varsity at that school. That's saying something. Satuwala and Doug by Ulufatu. Back set to Voss and handled. Well done, Briseño. Where's Hammond go? Back set. And Voss terminates the point.
Such a quick arm from Voss there, number 12 in white. She's on the right side as a right-handed attacker, so she lets that ball drift to her right shoulder. We can see right there, and then there's no delay. As soon as that ball is on her right shoulder, she finishes her swings out of the Netherlands.
Yeah, played for the Dutch national team. In fact, she was part of that program since she was 15 years old, so international experience. Neither side serving well to start the match. A lot of service errors, 5 serving 8. Kendall Murphy. Tipped into the block and out.
And this is where the Utes will not only have 3 attackers in the front row at all times because of that 6-2 offense, but they're not afraid of a physical team like Baylor. They're physical one themselves, but they don't shy away from those big blocks. They swing high and at them.
So far, Baylor hitting 167. Utah is hitting 600 to start the match. This will be from the 10-foot line, and Bailey never got it above the tape.
Difficult out-of-system swing there for Bailey. It was coming all the way across the court. On those, you just have to try and keep it in. It's very difficult to do.
Manuela Bibimbe from Cameroon, team high in blocks. They call her Manu, so we will too. Izzy goes short in the middle to Allie Olsen, and one of the things Beth Lanier likes about this team, they have great middles, they're reliable, and she says everything starts with our middles.
And Olsen being at the helm of that, Beth added, she shows up every day, one of the most disciplined players to coach, and she just is a leader of expectation for the team.
Going on 2. The setter, Jackie Barrett-Frazier. Over 400 assists coming in. She's second on the team in digs.
Great dunk here from...
Yeah, she just felt it up.
Yeah, she did. That block went with her. She saw the block in her peripheral, sent it back across the net.
She's at the service line, and a bit of a shank there. Allie Andrew. Baylor's climbing right back into it.
Andrew wearing number 18 there. The redshirt junior middle blocker stands at 6'3", out of Ridgefield, Washington. Second
on the team in blocks this season. Gabadlo, who led Utah in kills the other night with 13 and hit 333. Even with a balanced attack, it'd be hard not to go to Gabadlo again for 20-plus total attacks.
Now Baylor with all 3 attackers back in the front row. They have Murphy, number 11, in the back.
Barrett-Frazier again with a floaty. Marco goes outside to Jardine. That's the nuance of her game. She's got a pretty big arm, but she'll do that. She'll find a seam, find an angle, little tip shot, whatever works.
And that comes with vision and experience. She's a senior out here and has played at this level for a long time. She keeps the ball out in front. She sees the defense across the net and plays the chess game.
Jardines already got 3 kills on 4 attacks, so she's hitting 750 to start. And this is kind of what Utah did to TCU the other night. They played quickly, they sided out, and then they got on mini runs of 2 and 3.
Right, and those overpasses, unforced errors that they take advantage of.
Claire Ann Fector, defensive specialist, libero at the line, graduate of Campbell University, a private Christian college in North Carolina, extending her collegiate career 1 more year here in Salt Lake City.
Another unforced error in the favor of the Utes. Fector racking up the points here at the service line, has 19 aces on the season. A consistent float serve for the Utes.
Baird Frazier had to go outside the 10-foot line to set that ball. Into the block, comes right back at Check and goes out. Allie Check, the junior from Sugar Land down in Texas, with that left-hand arm swing and then got out of the way of the deflection. Ten serving 13, McGee bombing. Best serve of the match for Baylor, but Utah handles it, and then Cabadlo converts it. So how quickly did they turn transition there?
I would say pretty fast. I mean, her arm swing is lethal, and it starts with her torque, that core part of your body, much how quarterbacks throw, pitchers throw in baseball. It's the same in volleyball, and it's adding to the kills per set for Utah's offense, 14.67, second in the nation right now.
Carries about a foot long.
Point for the Bears.
The Utes will show us throughout the duration of the game exactly why they're ranked second in the nation in kills per set and first in the Big 12. They have a balanced offense, and they know who to go to at what time.
Hammond, back set, Cabadlo, and dug by Baird Frazier. There's Check, who had to run into a tight set. Hammond again goes quick to Satuala. So Utah ran the middle with a lot of success on Thursday night, and it's carried over to Saturday.
What gives them the opportunity is a controlled dig and transition, Jim.
Utah first to 15, and Beth Lanier's got to be happy with the offense again. They're mixing it up, and they're hitting 500 as a team. Standings in the Big 12 to start the day. Kansas is still unbeaten. They were picked to win the conference in the preseason poll. The first time the Jayhawks have ever been picked to win the conference. They're at Cincinnati. They started the same time we did. Arizona State and Utah just a half game back. Sun Devils at Texas Tech, they also are in motion right now. And then you see the Utes at 4-1, half game back. So big improvement from last year, where Utah was 11-19, 6-14, finishing 9th in their final season in the Pac-12. There's Check for the kill out of the timeout for Baylor.
Using that lefty swing on the right side there. Very lethal. Once they start finding her more in rhythm, she's able to tee off very sharp cross because of that left arm. Out of Sugar Land, Texas.
Lulu Fatu again at the service line. She is a serving specialist. They fake it to Satuala and go wide to Voss.
They're challenging the sidelines right now, the Utes, and here's Voss, a great example of that. Not afraid to take aggressive swings.
I love how Voss opens that shoulder right before she connects on the swing, so she doesn't give it away. The block was shading middle. They open up the line, and she burned them.
Gotta get you out there, Jim.
Well, I always try to watch that arm slot right as they approach the net, and they'll tip it off at the last second, but she disguises it very well. 13 serving 16. Kendall Murphy. Cross court, Bailey. Bailey didn't get a lot of kills. She had 7 on Thursday. Hammer This ball gets to the floor in a hurry.
She sure does. Standing at 6 feet, she beats that block with a quick arm, and again, her shoulders are facing to that 5-6 seam, so it's copy and paste every single time. You don't know where these athletes are swinging until they make contact with the ball, and sometimes it's too late.
Back set to another lefty, that's Grace Carroll.
With an in-system pass, all 3 options were available for the Bears. Take a look here. All 3 attackers were ready to go, making Olsen have to stay on Carroll there. And it was a T day for the Bears.
Tipped into the net, point Baylor, they're back within 2. Best of 5, first 4 sets, played a 25, win by 2. If we go the distance, we played a 15, again, got to win by 2. Ibinbe again. Ibinbe had 4 blocks in the sweep loss at BYU on Thursday night. There she has a dig. And Kreck is coming in set in this rotation for Baylor as Harley Kreck. Freshman from Texas, but most of their roster is from Texas, 10 of them. And they force Utah to call a timeout. So it was 15-11 Utah at the technical timeout. And now Baylor's back within 2. So Baylor with a little grit here, and we said coming in a little salty after getting swept by BYU. For Utah, ahead of schedule maybe. Remember, under 500 last year, not ranked coming in, but look what they returned. They returned 95% of their offense, and more than that in terms of blocks defensively.
And
Changing conferences.
Right, exactly, and being able to return 95% of your offense, I mean, that's a testament to exactly how they're 14-2 overall, 4-1 in conference. They had the spring to recollect from last season and put the puzzle pieces back together. I mean, Beth, it's her 35th season. She could do this in her sleep. She does do it in her sleep. As you say, Jim, she's the dean of college volleyball, and she has really put together a well-scripted offense and defense for the Utes.
When she came to Utah, she took over a program that was, the year before, was 1-32. That's not good.
No.
And 2 years later, they were 18-15, and they've never been, you know, questioned since. But you have to wonder, how many times did the phone ring? Did an email happen? Did somebody whisper in her ear, hey, I know a school that'll give you more money, that'll let you do whatever you want? And she said, no, I'm happy here. They trusted me. She built the program. I love that. A testament. It doesn't happen anymore, coaches, in any sport. Nobody stays anywhere 35 years.
She is loyal.
Izzy Marco running away from the net. Back sets to Bailey.
Good timeout and point out of timeout for the Utes. Bailey there swinging away on the ball, now coming back to the service line. She's been a consistent server for the Utes, has 9 aces on the season. Likes to play that chess game. You can see she tried to go short there.
So that's the 4th service error now by Utah. Baylor with just 1. Got to be clean. So for all that Utah's done, still hitting 500, Baylor could catch him right here. Cabadlo wants it back. Bangs it off the hands. Czech got a good piece of it. Arsenio back to Czech, the lefty. And the Utah defenders got a big piece. McGee down the line. Big one for Baylor. We're level at 18.
A huge transition play for Baylor. McGee there. Take a look at this swing. It's a great controlled block, scrappy defense from the Utes.
Jardine going down to the floor with a fisty to keep it alive. Jardine with a tip middle. Czech covered it. Outside to McGee again. Off the block and a chicken wing by Allie Olsen, but Baylor stays with it, and the Baylor Bears lead by 1.
Earning points on their side now with 9-10 digs on the ball game.
That's an 8-3 Baylor run since the timeout. Whatever McGuire said, he should say it again. Cabadlo trying to stop the bleeding.
Saying not yet. We have a couple more swings up our sleeve. Coach said she's a high flyer and fun to watch. This is exactly why she had 2 blockers up on her, and she said, I'm gonna challenge that line. Saw it out of her vision there. 3 kills, batting .400 currently.
Vector. Barrett Frazier, back set to McGee. Cabadlo. And Briseño keeps it in play. Going over is Barrett Frazier. Jardine on the back set into a double block. It's check again.
You cannot write it up more perfect than that. Check on this block. Look at her vision. She locks in on her attacker. It's that right hand into the seam, straight down to the floor.
You can see her adjust an angle to the middle when she figured out where the arm slot was. At home, the Baylor fans yell, check, check, boom. Cabadlo, again the double block, and again it's check. Just at the net, won by Satuala.
Utes may be looking for a lift there, but they're not going to need it. As Satuala throws that ball down to the ground, especially those scrappy, gritty plays. You just have to kill that point exactly how Satuala did there.
She's serving.
The 6-foot junior wearing number 2 on your screen.
Grace Hammond spins the ball and tosses it into the air. Barrett Frazier.
Point for Baylor.
That's Kendall Murphy.
Both of these teams, when given the opportunity to have an in-system pass, they're gonna have a very high attack percentage. So we're gonna see a lot more of aggressive serves from the end line as the game continues.
Murphy's second on this team in kills, but that's her first score of the night.
Right on cue, we saw Briseño trying to challenge that back line, floating just a bit long.
Exactly the script that Baylor played at BYU. The first set went overtime at 26-24 before the Cougs outlasted the Bears. Shank. And an ace.
Great service ace there from Cabadlo. Great hand-to-ball contact. What makes a good float serve, pay attention to her contact after we come back from this timeout. But right on cue, Jim, I said they had to serve tough, and here they are now with a 1-point lead, the Utes.
And there's no doubt that Ryan McGuire, the Baylor coach, he felt it right there. There was a little momentum shift. You know, they shanked the return, they give up the ace, now they're down 22-21. He just calls the timeout right now and says, no, it's too important to let it go one more point. Gonna readjust. Last time he did this, they responded. This guy has had an unbelievable career. Already told you he's the winningest coach in Baylor history, and he's taken them to the NCAA tournament every time he's been there. Twice he's been the conference coach of the year. You know, he graduated from Biola in '98 and started his coaching career the next year. I was thinking about backpacking through Europe. This guy's already knew what he wanted to do, and he was right.
Yeah, and that's very special to have, and he's doing it, living out the dream and taking this program to the next level. I mean, it's always been a very strong program, but Coach Ryan at the helm of it, and you can see what a great job he has done in his career thus far. 17
wins or more in every season in Waco, and in 2019, he took Baylor to the top. They earned their very first #1 national ranking. That's when you go in and say, I'd like to renegotiate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's have a little chit chat.
Just a little security for my family. My wife Jennifer, of course, played at UH back in the day. They have 3 kids, 2 sons and a daughter. Coaches don't have a lot of job security. Got to win. Kept alive by check, but she hit it the wrong direction. And even Briseño couldn't track it down. And so the timeout fails to turn the tide. Utah within 2.
And it's Bailey's right hand there with the block, squaring up in front of her attacker's shoulder.
Gabadlo was the hero at the net the other night, and here she's trying to win the first set from the service line. Barrett Frazier gets out of the way, a check, and the block is there. Voss and Satuola brings us to set point.
Well, they had 10 total blocks the other night versus TCU, and they said, let's do it again, if not more, shutting down that Baylor defense.
On that net cam, you can see Voss pike at just the right time, meets that ball right over the tape, angles it back to the middle of the court. So 3 blocks so far for Utah. We told you they had 10 in the win over number 17 TCU, the sweep on Thursday night here at the Huntsman Center. You know, when you look at Utah, here's what I liked about them is I'm prepping for these 2 matches this week. Balance across the board, so they're tough to defend. 2 setters because they run the 6-2. They split the workload, but they play a lot of good defense. So 10 blocks the other night, 3 already. Where's the weakness?
Well, right now, what puts up a good defense, I mean, it starts with an offense, and it's Jardine putting balls away and giving them the opportunity to recycle when necessary, whether it's in system like this, swinging high hands, or out of system. She controls the play just like that, identifies the set, and finds the court.
Yeah, Jardine 8 kills the other night. So Gabadlo had 13, Voss had 10, Jardine had 8, and Bailey had 7. That's the balance we're talking about across the board.
And it goes back to transition defense, Jim. Right now, they're averaging digs per set 15.96. That's 4th in the Big 12. But you don't just dig the volleyball just for fun. You have to dig to location, and that's what separates the okay from the great. And right now, the Utes, they're playing great defense because of their location, digging in transition.
Utah's 2nd in the country in kills per set. They have 16 in the set. That's above their average. And now, standing on set point.
Saying I ended it then, I'll end it now, taking care of another unforced error from the Bears.
So Utah took care of number 17 TCU in straight sets. Number 18 Baylor comes in, and the Utes are up 1-0.
Big opponent across the net, physicality-wise. They challenge anybody that's in front of them.
Is McGuire checking his rotations?
It looks like they are. Yes, you usually give your lineups ahead of time to the down ref.
So they gave Baylor a delay of game.
It looks like they might be starting in a different rotation than they usually do. So there is a bit of confusion.
Yeah, wrong people in the wrong places. So Dan Swenson, the down official, went over to Ryan McGuire, asked to see his lineup. They were out of place. So it brought the match to a halt. And we're ready to go in the second set. 25-21 Utah in the first. And here's Jackie Barrett Frazier, a grad student. She played at Auburn for 4 years. In fact, she is married to the Auburn tight end, Brandon Frazier. They got married in May. And now both continuing their athletic careers, but far apart.
That's the right swing there from Gabadlo. Tried to challenge that sideline again. As a coach myself with my club team with SEBC, I'm okay with aggressive errors.
Izzy Marco setting Allie Olsen in the middle. Now Fector with the bump to Jardine over the double block. McGee, a runner along the 10-foot line. Back set to Jardine, tools the block and out. 1-all.
Good patience during an extended rally. Jardine, knowing that the block was doubled up on her, she had her shoulders square into area 1 cross court, and then went thumbs down on that volleyball.
Fector with a knuckleball. Dug by Marco, taken across by Gabadlo. quick set middle. They haven't run that much. Tipped over. Well done. Satuala just backhanded it. You know, I would tell you that's a point Baylor deserved because Utah was groveling the whole point and just trying to stay in it.
They were. For the Bears, it was probably like when you're at a picnic and that fly just won't go away.
Elise McGee stands at the service line. She has a couple of nicknames. Her name is Elise McGee. They call her Elite McGee, or I like this one better, the Unit. Trying to paint that back corner, just missed.
The Bears here trying to find their rhythm again in serve receive. They didn't have the best serve receive game against BYU the other evening, so that's one of their keys to the match against Utah. Is can we have a controlled first ball contact?
Grace Hammond. Sophia Keene on the left side now for Baylor. We're in the 10.
Satuala here on the gap set, drawing the blocker with her, but will beat the block due to how fast they run the gap set.
That's out.
It was an out-of-system swing, trying to find that 5-6 seam of the court, the back left part. That's the right area when you're out-of-system on the left side, as Voss is right now wearing number 12 there. Just went a bit wide, might have hit the underside of that volleyball.
Allie Andrew, the middle blocker to serve, second on the team in blocks. But she did lead the team in kills against Arizona earlier this year with 14, a match in which she hit nearly 600 for the night, covered by Briseño. JVF back set to check, and it carries wide.
Tooling high hands, the Bears trying to chip away here when they can.
Yeah, I don't want to use a word like critical this early in a match, but it's very important for Baylor to win this set. They got swept at BYU on Thursday night. Come in here and be down 2. Gets a hot team on their home court. It's a steep hill to climb, 4-4.
Utah.
It looks like the Bears might be challenging this play from this perspective. It looked like the ball was up. It looks like they're challenging ball down.
We've got a coach's challenge on that last one.
So each coach begins tonight with 2 challenges. And collegiate volleyball is a bit different than Olympic volleyball, where you can only challenge on the final action of the point. In collegiate volleyball, you can challenge anywhere during the rally.
Right, and right now they're challenging this pancake. It looked like it was up from this perspective.
Yeah.
You can tell by the spin on the ball. Notice the rotation coming off the contact. We can see the hand under the backspin on the volleyball, indicating from my perspective that that ball was up.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. During the rally, I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I've seen it twice more.
Yeah, it was a great defensive play.
So if you challenge and you win, you keep your challenge. Challenge and lose, you pay for it. Yeah, and you said it, watch the rotation of the ball, it changes.
Right, exactly there.
There it is.
Then that backspin on the volleyball indicates that her pancake, her flat palm hit the ground and put that backspin on the volleyball.
They're saying it hit the ground. Oh, they said it hit the ground first. Now I see. Yeah, so we were right, yeah.
And they said they're calling it a replay, but Coach Beth is saying that it should be their point.
So now neither coach happy with the call on the same point.
So Coach Beth is saying Baylor hit that ball out. It should be our point.
Yeah. And they did. That's how the point ended. Anyway, reset 4-4. And again, Alejandra to serve. Gabadlo. And for Gabadlo, that's 5 kills now on 14 total swings. Hitting close to 200.
Controlling what you can control, and that's not the calls that the referees will make in favor or against you, but it's your side. And at this level, how do you respond? And this is something that I preach to my junior high and high school teams. How do you respond when things don't go your way?
Adversity. Things you're supposed to learn in college. Gabadlo with a spade.
Gabadlo earning a kill and then an ace, back-to-back points for the Ute.
We talked to Gabadlo live on the air after the win the other night. They swept number 17 TCU. And I said, were you even expecting that? Playing number 7? Oh yeah, we were talking about it in the dressing room. Double hit on Baylor, and Utah with the points.
Gabadlo, only a sophomore, but feels very comfortable on the court. Her freshman year last year, she had 18 starts, played in 29 matches.
Backs out to check, and it looks like she threw it. Yeah. So Baylor kind of is coming apart right now. A lot of unforced errors. I thought this looked a little strange the first time I saw it.
Seeing in slow motion.
Did she throw it?
From that point of view, it looked like she contacted it behind her head. In that case, that is a throw.
Yeah.
You have to make contact with the ball out in front of your shoulder.
And they're going to challenge this one.
Right.
Oh wait, now they're going to challenge. The challenge is him, but it's on a net call.
So if it's a throw, you make contact behind your shoulder, you touch the volleyball, you throw it in front. It's not a throw if you make contact in front of your hitting shoulder. But we're challenging a net.
So what they're questioning is whether the block, anybody on the block touches the net at any time. And you can see the check doesn't agree with it. Allie turned around right away and said, what are you kidding me? But I will say, it struck me as being awkward when it happened. It seemed like it was on her hand an awful long time.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
Let's see. So the net's moving on the lead serve. Now, watch far side. Anybody touch the net? Either with their arms or with their knees? No net. No net. Call is confirmed.
Once no net, point goes to Utah.
Yeah, and you can understand Ryan McGuire's a little frustrated. His team's not playing that well. They just got run out of Provo. He's calling some...
Maybe there was a challenge to maybe delay the game a
slow
little
things
bit.
down, a little gamesmanship. I like it. That's kind of where I was going with that, because pretty sharp guy and he knows the sport. He knows his team needs something right now. King, easy tip. Free ball here for Utah. Hammond, quick set, Satawala. So the thing that Utah did the other night, and it should be pointed out that number 17 TCU started that match without Melanie Parra, who led the nation in points coming in. So TCU was a little out of sequence to start the match, but Utah ignored it and just played their whole strategy was just jump on them early, regardless who was on the floor.
Right, and they just focus on their side. That's how they lock in on their defense, just with that block and forcing a bear swing out of bounds. But it's tunnel vision right now for the Utes.
And then when Parra came back into that match, Utah didn't even blink. It didn't change again. Exactly,
and that's what Coach Beth preaches is, hey, it's our side. We support each other and we lean on each other.
Utah leading 9-4. Big 12 volleyball only on ESPN+. Cameron Gabadlo was the kills leader. She's right up there again. She's got 5 kills, 14 swings, hitting .214.
Quick arm for her on the pin. Notice how she kicks out, she creates space. There's 2 up on her. The Utes know that they want to find her, but she beats them high hands consistently.
She plays bigger than 6'1". That's out.
And that's a testament to her reach. She's fully extending on her double arm lift up to the ball, big bow and arrow, and then it's a high elbow and high hand when she's contacting that volleyball.
Satuala actually leads Utah in kills with a couple easy dunks at the net. She's got 6. Blocked by Voss. Second block of the match for number 12.
Voss reading her opponent just like she reads her biology books. Biomedical technology is her bachelor's degree.
Point for the Bears.
That's 5 service errors for Utah.
Hey, everybody, give it up.
But they're okay with it because it was a big run.
Yeah.
And they were playing aggressive from the service line. Now they've subbed in Vanessa Ramirez, wearing number 17 in white.
That ends an 8-0 run for Utah. Now leading 11-5, already won the first set. Hammond. Satuala. She's got 7 kills on 10 total attacks. I went to public school and I can do that math.
She is available behind the setter, in front of the setter. They like to run her on different routes because she's just so dynamic in her footwork. She's able to locate the ball in real time in the air, whether it's behind the setter on a close route or pin route. She is there every single time. Satuala
hitting 700, no errors. Overpass. JBF wanted to go herself, not a good decision. She was moving away from the net, so the distance was increasing and she was trying to dink it.
Right, and she had one of her middles running behind. The outside was opened, but she saw maybe a gap there in the block of Utah.
13 serving 5. Back corner ace. You know, that was like an off-speed pitch. Everyone just kind of buckled. Watch the back row. They all just kind of, yours?
Does not get more textbook than that. The float serve is lethal when executed. It looks, when you're passing it, like it's coming at your shoulders just like that, but then it drops within half a foot. Back-to-back aces for Satuala.
Satuala should ask for a copy of this match. She has 7 kills on 10 attacks, hitting 700. She has 2 aces, a dig, and 3 blocks.
Previously played at Idaho State. She was the Big Sky Freshman of the Year, and now showing us her talents in a jersey for the Utes.
All right, fans, we want to welcome a special guest.
We always talk about balance with this team. For Utah, there's the 95% of their offense that comes back, including all the big names. Jardine, Gabadlo, Satuala, Olsen, and 97% of their blocks from a year ago. Now, that team wasn't great, but that team was young, and they're all better.
Right, experience builds in the offseason. You go back to the drawing board and you say, hey, we laid down the roots, we laid down the foundation this season, we know what we're capable of. Let's rep it out in the gym and show people, hey, we have something to prove for the Utes. We should be consistently ranked. We are winning big volleyball games, and we're nationally ranked in multiple categories.
Kids are off campus, and it is a football day, but there are some big names in the house. How about Haley Washington? Olympic medalist, silver in 24, gold in 20, and of course a national champion in her time at Penn State, and she was at practice yesterday.
I just love Haley. She is just so genuine and smiley and fun. What you see right here, dancing, having a good time on the screen, is how she is literally every day.
They've already taught her the U? She's doing the U?
She'll be playing for Salt Lake City in League One volleyball. Professional volleyball hits American soil.
And she was talking to the team at practice, and wasn't so much about volleyball, picking each other up on the court, but she talked about adversity and you know, when things aren't going your way, how do you turn around? How do you stay positive? And look at this. Is that 3 aces in a row by Satuwala?
Why not make it 3?
Oh my.
Just how the Dodgers, too soon, Jim. We're 3 outs there consistently against the Padres. Hate to say it.
They got a party circle going in the back. Wow. 5 for the team, 3 in a row for Satuwala. She's marching about to a 16-5 advantage. Everything's going right for Utah this week. Looking to break into the national top 25. Maybe they should have been there earlier. Into the block. Voss wants another one. This time it's Olsen and Bailey. Off the block, but carries wide.
The block was there for the Utes, but the Bears able to stop the bleeding just a bit. Are they able to find a run here? It's tough. They haven't played on the road that much this season, and they have to be able to find that rhythm. And when you're uncomfortable, especially coming off of a 3-0-3 loss at BYU just down the street.
Shank and an ace for Baylor.
They'll take an ace to try and find that momentum.
First of the match for the Bears. So Baylor, before they left Texas, went to rival TCU and lost. Then they went to BYU, and I think they lost TCU in 4. Then they got swept at BYU. They're down 1 and down deep in the second set. So it's just got to feel like a snowfall has turned into an avalanche for Baylor. Nothing's going right for them. Well, like Haley Washington was talking about with the Utah volleyball team, this is adversity, and you have to find a way out of it. Head coach can only do so much with the clipboard. Fector gonna bump it. They're gonna go from the 10-foot line. Neither team with an advantage so far in the rally. McGee down the line and covered by Vanessa Ramirez. Tight set for Jardine. She got fingertips on it. And that's a point for Utah. Is it double hit?
Now, the Bears are a veteran team, Jim. They've been ranked for 81 consecutive weeks by the AVCA. That's not counting preseason or year-end rankings. They're veterans. They know what it takes to win, know what it takes to stay ranked. So maybe right now they're just being put to the test by the volley gods. Are you able to be consistent and show us exactly why this program has been ranked for 81 consecutive weeks?
And they haven't had an easy time of things. This is the 7th ranked team that Baylor has played already in the season and still in diapers. We're just getting started.
Just getting started indeed. Murphy here at the service line. Again, has played every set for the Bears. She was the number 14 recruit in the nation by PrepVolleyball.com.
So Baylor has been tested, but maybe not road tested, as you mentioned at the top of the show. First time that they ventured outside the Lone Star State this year. Playing everything at home. They played Houston, they played at TCU, and then they went to BYU on Thursday night. So you see the wins against Minnesota and Arizona State. Arizona State, that's the only loss they've had in conference. That's an ace for Bailey. 6 aces now for the Utes.
It is a dance party for the Utes.
Quick set middle. Yeah, keep it simple, right? Harley Crack, the setter. Not going to try to outthink him. We're just going to try to execute now and convert, win a point, get a side out.
Exactly, chip away 1 point at a time. If you're the Bears right now, how do we create momentum for the third set?
Yeah,
we need to find it on our side because the Utes, they're not going to give it to us if you're the Bears.
Took the thought out of my mouth right there. As I said, we're not diluted. They're down 20-9 in the second. They're building for the third set right now. They might come back, but can't anticipate that just yet. Mark on a tight set far side. Gabadlo able to tip it across, and everything is going Utah's way. Even the tight set, they turn to their advantage.
Badlow, again, only a sophomore last year, part of the all-freshman team for the Pac-12, also National Honor Society, likes to play the chess game herself. She led in attacks for the 5th consecutive match.
Oh, Ileana Linehan, who grew up in Texas, able to take it across and does it again. This is one of those big points, 3rd time. Oh, and it's just cheeky play by Baylor. Everybody geeking out on the 2 saves, and they just throw a soap bubble into the middle of the defense.
Well, Coach Beth said, we don't just have to play scrappy, we have to play quick and scrappy at the same time. And the Utes right now on defense, they're like that little gnat that just won't go away.
When JBF threw that, I almost fell out of my chair. I wasn't expecting that. See if Utah can answer right back. Jardine.
Going against the flow right now. Great set from Marco. The pass was pushed to the left side of the court, and she threw it back to Jardine on the right, going against the flow.
So Badlow and Jardine with 6 kills each. Satuala with 7. Boss got a couple of blocks. She's got 3 kills, hitting 750. Contributions across the board for the Utes. Floater. Able to get there was Keen. That's going to be out. Utah just trying to nurse this one to the finish line.
Andrew there, 18 on your screen, the middle blocker. 2-time all Big 12 first team, all academic team.
Hammond on the slide. Amelia Vanderwerf, we didn't even see her on Thursday night, comes off the bench. They run the X right away, and she converts.
With authority at that, great spacing from her. Way to make a statement into the ball game from Leavenworth, Kansas. Standing at 6'3".
Through the hands of Linehan. 12 serving 23. Smile on the face of Tori Davis, who's checked in now. Southern California product. One of the team's best blockers. They've been out sick for the last 6 matches or so. Good to see her smiling and back in action. Alley check. Buggy whip left to the corner, and that's an ace.
And it's her first ace of the season. Believe it or not, carving up that sideline. How is that just her first ace? That is a lethal serve.
Going the other way, the left-hander. Well inside the line, trying for the jumbo shrimp. This is the back line by a couple of feet.
Utah fans, you know what to do.
Brings Utah back to set point. Vanderwerf serving for the set. Well done, Tori Davis. Lindsay McGuire's gotten into the bench now. Brought a couple of subs onto the court just to try and mix things up. And if you get an opportunity like Tori Davis has right now, got to make it count. Still 14 serving 24. It remains set point. It'll be set point for a while.
Into the campfire of Baylor, but again, kills on 10 attempts, 0 errors. She has come in with tunnel vision, and when you have a middle blocker being able to have an off-the-chart ball game, I mean, your team's doing something well because you have the opportunity to get her the volleyball, right?
Yeah, it's not where you'd expect it, right?
No, and it's controlled in serve receive and defense, and she's been able to tip her hat at the back row and say, hey, thank you very much for letting me have a ball game tonight.
Satuala grew up here in Utah in Bountiful, but then went to Idaho State where she was freshman of the year and led the team in everything, but she missed her family. She's got 3 younger siblings, wanted to come out and help out. That's what she did. So, did the Utah fans even dare think about a sweep? I mean, you and I weren't thinking sweeping either one of these matches coming in. I wasn't for sure.
I don't know.
They surprised me Thursday, and I said, no way, because I figured Baylor was going to be pretty angry about the way they've been playing, refocused, recentered. But it's a frustrating afternoon so far for the Bears.
Still anybody's ball game.
Yep.
You've seen in the Big 12 on any given moment. It's just one spark.
Well, nothing seems to be going Baylor's way, and it seems like Utah's getting all the tips right now. It depends what color the glasses are that you wear. And Baylor opens with check. She's covered. Fector back to Gabadlo. Is he going to get over? It did. And Gabadlo there to challenge check and push it down. And that's kind of the way it's gone for Baylor. The passing hasn't been crisp. They're not terminating points. The setting maybe, it's not bad. It's just not great. Maybe the connections aren't there for whatever reason. I don't know if I can quite put my finger on it, but they don't look their best.
But they'll try and stay as steady as possible.
Tread water for a while, yeah.
Right, and Andrew, number 18 on your screen, has been a big part of that, the redshirt junior. But yeah, can they build momentum? They need production out of their pins right now. They're not seeing that much. They have a few athletes batting negative, but Andrew saying, hey, it ain't over till it's over. Now 4 aces on the season for Andrew.
Watch this ball die.
Again, hits it flat. It looks like it's coming at your shoulders and serve receive, and then it just drops at the last second. Very difficult to pass.
She went right back to Fector, too, same way. Goes up inside the scoreboard, but didn't touch it. Check, and there's Fector getting on it. Jardine from the 10-foot line. JBF right in the middle of things to Tori Davis again. Her second kill of the match. She came in midway through the second set. So for the match, Baylor is only hitting 197, but that's their high water mark so far.
The Utes kept them under 100 in the second set.
And remember that Utah's holding opponents to a 150 on the season. It's a top 10 national mark. Fector bump set, Gabadlo. Wow, cross-court laser.
Elite athlete right now, Gabadlo. She, again, she's an underclassman, which is the scary part. Double block, tracks the ball over her shoulder, but still has the confidence to swing away on that.
Yeah, you're right.
Half of it's confidence.
It was an over-the-shoulder set, you're right.
When in doubt, just swing high and hard.
Down the line, cuffing it beautifully. It was Kendall Murphy. Murphy had a great start to the season. She was MVP of the Baylor Classic. She had 30 kills and hit 460 for the weekend on the home court. Second on the team in kills, leads the team in aces. And the pink game is always special to her. We'll tell you more about that here in a second. Marco, quick set, middle, Satuala. Satuala is having a career day. 8 kills on 11 total attacks, hitting well above 700.
Hey, feed the beast. That's what I tell my setters. When you find one on your side, go ahead. All you can eat buffet right now for Satuala.
So Satuala and Gabaldo now sharing top honors for Utah, 8 kills apiece. Too tight.
Part of the reason why Satuala has been so efficient is that she's not just hitting the same set over and over. She's hitting 4 different sets at any given opportunity, and you don't know what set she's hitting until her 3rd step and her 4-step approach.
12 passing errors now for Baylor. Tori Davis in the middle, and again, the pass wasn't great. The set was a little flat. Davis was above the ball, couldn't get it across.
The Bears are not going to go down without a fight. The Utes, if they want to take it, they still have to earn it.
Better pass, better set. The timing there. Davis failed to terminate. Gabadlo takes care of that one. It's in the tunnel.
9 kills for Gabadlo on the ball game.
Gibby got all that, or got the majority of the total attacks on Thursday. She has 21 already today.
Her point of contact is what makes her so lethal. Pay attention to when she's swinging. She reaches so high.
Crack into set. Tees up Murphy down the line.
And what helps with those really big arm swings is a double arm lift. You'll hear coaches say this. Use your left arm if you're a right-handed attacker. Throw both of your hands down and up for a big bow and arrow and stretch.
Second in aces on the team is Kendall Murphy. The push. Sachuala. Yeah, Baylor wants a lift on it.
Into that campfire. Sachuala again. Set location was okay, but she identified where that ball was and knew she had to tip it down to that campfire.
Gabadlo another ace. 7 for Utah.
The Bears cannot find a break right now on serve receive. So when your serve receive is maybe dwindling a little bit, you have to be able to talk to your teammates next to you. Hey, I have your short seam, I have your deep seam. This is what we're prioritizing.
Gabadlo and Sachuala each with 3 service aces in the match. Carries up behind the ladder, and Bailey, she had time to get there. She got caught up in the ladder. She couldn't get away from it.
Smile on her face saying, man, I could have gotten that ball.
When you're up 2 sets at home and it's rolling, you can afford to laugh. But be careful. Don't poke the bear.
Literally.
Lauren Briseño had 6 aces against TCU in a match a couple of years ago. Bailey off the block. Covered. That goes back outside. Grace Carroll. Caught the line.
Chipping away.
Any part of the ball touches any part of the line. It's in.
Bringing Sachuala back to the service line.
Oh no. 9 kills, 12 total attacks. She's hitting .750, 3 blocks, a dig, and 3 aces. Overpass, and that's out.
Bears tried to bring it back onto their side.
Yeah.
Setter number 1 in green right now, Kreck. Redshirt freshman.
Oh, that one buzzed the tape. It was moving. Kept alive. Bailey! So the first touch, Utah's scrambling. The second touch, they reset. And the third touch is the termination. It all happened in 5 seconds.
Energy is contagious, and that's what the Utes are showing us. It starts at the helm with Beth, and it bleeds into her athletes.
Utah has been in the top 25 nationally 168 times since Beth Lanier's been here. They're banging.
Serving now for your Utes.
Jim Watson, Victoria Dennis inside the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City, where the Utes are having a great week. Took care of number 17 TCU in straight sets Thursday night. Up 2-0 on number 18 Baylor, and leading here in the third. Baylor sides out of the timeout, and they send Jackie Barrett Frazier, their graduate student and setter, to the service line. Both of her parents were college athletes. Her dad played football at Buffalo. Her mom played volleyball at Humboldt. There's a couple of sisters who are athletes too. Hannah plays volleyball at one of the Cal State schools. Natalie, sister, plays soccer at Chico. Cal State's San Bernardino, I think, right? Yeah.
Correct.
I went deep into the file to find that one.
Yeah.
Check, bumps it up. They got to go across here. Free ball and a chance for Utah. Jardine off the hands. And that insult, it lands in the Baylor bench.
Jardine previously played at Wisconsin her freshman year, part of that national team, now a senior leader, making waves in the Big 12. Last year finished first on the team in kills per set with 3.01. And is well on her way to doing it this senior season as well.
And you see, check what she's saying right now. Let's get it going. Let's get a rally. Let's do this. Just win this set and get a chance to reset, catch our breath. Can't win 3 sets at a time. 8 serving 13 in the third. Marco outside to Jardine. It's a back set. Check off the double block. Vector bumps to Bailey. But this left side, it seems like who's ever here, this is the hot spot on the floor.
It really is. Bailey being able to carve up and inside that block. Again, she's only 6 feet tall, which a pin attacker, you usually are seeing athletes now 6'2", 6'3" on the pins. But she is not afraid to challenge those big blockers, and it's a fast arm that beats the block.
Bailey, one of those Utah players growing up in the program. She was a defensive sub as a freshman and just kept working her way up the depth chart. Sophomore, she only started 1 match. Then last year, 21 matches, was 3rd on the team in digs per set. And this year, she's played every match. That's earning it. Cabadlo. Boy, that donut in the Baylor defense looks enormous. It's a bear claw.
I mean, she's just been consistent. Cabadlo, last evening, a couple nights ago versus TCU, led in attacks for the 5th consecutive match and the 10th time this season. Team high 13 kills just a couple nights ago.
Tori Davis, and Bailey was able to get there as she and Vector nearly collide. Rosenio, JVF, well done by Baylor as Kendall Murphy finishes it. Maybe the best point of the match. How clean it was by Baylor.
What a save and free ball. But the Bears utilizing a free ball exactly how they should. Trying to still keep that fire alive.
Sorry, Vic, Murphy able to open up that shoulder and go wide on it, away from the double block. Marco to Jardine. Oh, Vector, point blank. Double block and out. Oh, no, now they're saying it was touched by Baylor. And this is gonna get Ryan McGuire up again. Is he gonna go to his pocket? I'll tell you, it happened right in front of us. Watch this. Does somebody touch it for Baylor? Cabadlo's there with Satuala. There's the block. It comes right back.
Looks like it touches her hair, which is not a touch. A touch violation has to be a part of the body where the blood is flowing through. The hair does not count.
That is great intel. I didn't know that. I'm taking that one home with me.
Hey, anytime.
I learned something every time I work with you. Yeah, and that's what Ryan's saying. Can't blame a girl for having great hair.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. We don't just shampoo and condition for nothing, let me tell you.
Liz McKnight the up, Dan Swenson the down. They're talking about it. Yeah, I think this should be Baylor's point. But I mean, if it could be a micro touch. He's got to get the card out. So Swenson says, all right, Ryan, if you want to challenge it, I need to see the card officially. And now they'll go and look at it again. All right, so live, I thought she tooled the block. On the replay, I didn't see it even touch her ponytail. You think maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but it wouldn't count anyway.
Right.
All right, here comes the block. Where's the ball go? Does it touch her? Now, I will say the reaction
This is a good angle here from our crew.
The reaction from Carol, she just looked back at the ball. I thought maybe she was looking at her shoulder, but she's saying out right away.
This would be the angle we would see it.
Does it graze her shoulder? No.
It looks like she played good dodgeball.
Yeah. Well, we've been right so far on the 2 challenges. And I'm watching the spin of the ball. I don't see any change in that.
No. So.
It's like an NFL game all of a sudden.
I know.
Yeah.
Net violation is the initial ruling.
Okay, that dude with the Mohawk's got more FaceTime than I have today. Somebody get my agent on the horn. It's still 16-12 Utah. Baylor has lost 2 in a row. You know, 10 days ago, Baylor was ranked 14th in the country. They were 10-3 on the season, 2-0 in conference, in first place. If they lose today, they go under 500 in conference play. And the call is reversed. Utah wins the challenge.
And it's interesting, you look at the stats and where they line up in the Big 12, and they're really in the middle of the pack in all statistics: kills per set, digs, assists, attacking percentage. They're not really off the charts in any particular stat at the moment.
Into the blocking, right back. No challenge on that one.
An absolute roof party for Gabadlo. Big crossover step again. Quick hands across that tape. She doesn't just reach high, she goes quick and low.
Good cross-court winner. But you can feel Baylor thinking about everything now. Nothing's coming naturally, instinctually.
But there's still a couple smiles on their faces out there saying there's still a chance.
We call that whistling in the graveyard. Just to keep yourself from being scared. That's out. 13 serving 18.
The libero for the Bears all game long has been consistent. Briseño wearing number 2.
Trying to resurrect a rally here. Badlow with the roll shot. Kreck setting far side to McGee, and a point for Baylor. And now it's 14 serving 18. And where there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly. Give the Bears an inch and they'll run a mile.
Utah needs a side out. Go to Voss, and the Boss converts.
Textbook deep seam swing from Voss into that coffin corner. The back left part of the court for the volley nerds, that 5-6 seam.
5 hitters now with at least 6 kills for Utah. Carroll. And she's going to get credit for it.
Point for the Bears. Clarion Fester with a great effort. She's from Pasadena, California.
Briseño there on your screen, the libero for Baylor. Has 2 double-doubles this season, one of only 4 liberos in the nation with 2 or more. A heartbeat for the Bears.
Catches the tape, but Ramirez.
Bears.
McGee. 16 serving 19.
Briseño again at the service line.
She's got over 1,000 kills in her career. Excellent at the service line. Lauren Briseño, the senior from San Antone. And that goes across. Uh-oh.
A trickle ace holding her breath.
Momentum is trying to change benches.
Saying, hey, why not? Briseño earned a gold medal with Team USA at the Pan American Cup And she did it with teammate Check and assistant coach Walker.
Utah!
Tried to do it again right there. She was trying to play it off the tape. 20 serving 17. Utah within sight of their second sweep in 72 hours. Right to McGee. Correct to Carroll, and dug by Satawala. Ramirez bumps it to Bailey. I don't know if it went across. Did not. Baylor's right in it.
Satawala smiling with a chicken wing dig there, but ball catching the top of the tape, keeping the Bears alive.
Yeah, the smile's not so wide on the Utah side of the net right now.
Frazier serving.
Jackie Barrett Frazier to serve. Back set. Voss gets turned back as McGee slams the door in her face. The Bears are within one in the third.
Clamping down, momentum play. It's a one-on-one opportunity. And McGee showing her leadership.
Bailey, it was touched.
We knew the Bears weren't going to go down without a fight. You don't come in number 18 without a little bit of authority. The Utes here looking to lock it in. We know they have all three attackers at the net running that 6-2 offense.
Diana Voss from the Netherlands, played in a couple of European championships with the Dutch national team. Check. Just kind of a cross-court dink, but it was off speed, and it worked. Again, it's a one-point set. Utah's 4 from a sweep, Baylor 5 from getting back in the match. Elite McGee at the service line. And the unit chucks it up into the lights of the Huntsman Center and buries it in the net. But that's a crusher. Should be back.
Yeah, the serve receive for the Bears, trying to lock it in. Ulu Fatu, number 26 in the back row, trying to help with that.
Cambry Bailey serving for Utah. They need 3. They need 2.
It is a all-you-can-eat block party for the Utes.
That was one-on-one.
So disciplined on defense.
That was a one-on-one block, and Jardine built a billboard in front of her. There was nowhere to go. You can see all the pink around that Utah bench. It is the Power of Pink match, and earlier during the intermission, Amy Swenson has been part of the Utah athletics program since the 90s. She is also a breast cancer survivor. Her cancer is now in remission, and every time I see these stories, I'm sorry, it just kind of gets to you because you know what they've been through, and yet she's been here all along. Everybody knows her. She deserves a lot more than flowers and a couple hugs, because that's a warrior right there.
Warrior wearing a smile.
And there she is, doing her job like she always does. Amy Swenson. Keep it going, Amy. And she's not the only one in the building where the pink match has a little special meaning. Over on the Baylor bench is Kendall Murphy. Kendall Murphy always wears pink court shoes. It's a family tradition for them. She does it in honor of her Aunt Wendy, who died of breast cancer back in December of 2007. She said, I was just a kid, didn't know her that well, but we think of her often. In fact, her sisters also wore the pink shoes.
And her cousins, they played at Minnesota.
So it keeps everything in perspective, doesn't it? 23 serving 20. There's Check. Block got a big piece. They've got an opportunity here. Gabadlo pushes it down the line and covered by Barrett Frazier. Check again, tips. Gabadlo is carrying over. Jardine again. Jardine's got 8.
And giving them a possible again utilizing another overpass to their advantage.
Nobody would have thought it. Thursday night, sweeping number 17. Saturday, leading number 18 to love, and on the precipice of a second sweep. They got a chance right here. Jardine off the block. Second block kept alive and over. No, point, it's a 4-hit. Extra hit by Utah. Baylor holds on.
Baylor clamping down on this block, trying to stay alive.
2, 3, 4.